guys, here I am again to finally show you all the tests of these new sketchbooks, these homemade sketchbooks, and you saw me doing them on the previous video. And now it's test time. You saw a little bit of that also in the last video, but I've got a bunch of new art pieces that I made testing this, and you'll see all about it in this video. So come along. Okay, I made this first experiment here in the same base ground where I made the swatches to get a better feeling of the base ground and how it interacted with these materials. Well, on this piece, I worked first with the Graphite and then on top of it with the Derwent drawing. And I had no problems whatsoever with any of them. The only thing to consider with this base ground, this paint in particular, is that it gets a little bit slippery, so the water mediums don't grab to it as good as they would in a watercolor paper or any other paper that it's not primed with an impermeable material, which is what this base layer is after all. So basically I know already that the acrylics go well on top of everything, so I will not be testing any acrylics to see how they perform because I already know. That's why I bought also to test some other materials, water-based, like things more similar to watercolors. These are Gansaitambi Kuretake watercolors, and these are art graphs that are also pretty much similar to a watercolor. Now I will choose another page of this sketchbook that has this same base layer, which for instance will be this one, and I'll test the other base layers on other sketchbooks. For instance, this yellow one, and this one may be what? Well, this I won't be testing because this is that green that is shiny. So I know already that only acrylics will go on top of this, maybe oil pastels. So I won't be testing these watercolor-like materials on this one. So let me see. Yes, this red will be good to test them. And well, what more? This pink. That's that Amsterdam paint mixed with the white also. And on this one, I have this other pink. There is really hurting my eyes. I don't know if I'll ever use it again, just without mixing it with some other colors, because this is strong on my eyes. I don't like to look at it. I like the color, but it always makes my head hurt looking at it. And maybe I will try that white primer. Do I have it here? Oh, I have the blue here. This blue, this matte blue. And I'm looking for the white primer, but I don't know if I have it in this big sketchbook. Oh, I have this green also. I didn't remember about this green. But it should behave similar to that pink. So maybe I'll work with this instead of the pink. Okay, and I'll try this one for this first sketchbook because I have that white primer here. So I'll work on the white primer first, one thing at a time. Now I'm gonna work on this pinkish white with the same materials. Okay, so on these two base layers, I saw a similar behavior. They're both a little bit slippery, you know, slippery surfaces. So the watercolor quality of the Graphite tints couldn't grab very well to it, but instead it made all these lovely effects and textures, kind of like a foam as I was scrubbing my brush all over it. I'm gonna let this dry, and this is going to be a perfect base layer for some other drawing on top of it. On this crazy hot pink, I think I'll go with the Kuretake to see how it grabs onto it. I don't even know what color to use with it, but maybe, yeah, this blue. I don't know. Maybe I'll use more than one color, probably. Yes, it is slippery also. I'm not sure if I like this effect. Okay, so what did I think about this? I was not sure if I was liking it, remember? But I loved it. See all this texture, I love it. And because this pink is acrylic and it's not as sticky as if it was watercolor paper, as I scrub the Gansai Tambi on top of it, I can lift some bits more than others, and I can see the pink peeking through, and I love it. It's not finished, this piece, of course, it's just a base layer. I just gotta be careful when I work on top of it, as I gotta be in these other two base layers that I made before. I gotta be careful not to lift this paint up again, because these mediums that I'm putting on top of these base layers are water soluble, and they will be reactivated if I water them afterwards. So what I gotta do to work on top of this is just using a color pencil or a wax crayon or oil pastels on top of it, something that doesn't require water. I think I want to make it down, yes, till the bottom of the page. As I do this scrubbing down here, I can see other colors besides the pink, like these yellows over here, that might look good to pick up afterwards. Well, right now I'm going to be inspired by this book, and in particular by this image from Brazil, Amazonia. Okay, just reminding you that this base layer was made with that Amsterdam acrylic, the green gray or blue gray, I don't remember. So I was able to achieve the smoky effect of the water that you saw in the reference photo with the white art graph on top of that blue base layer, and then working for these greens with a mix of 3 of these graphite colors from this Gansai Tambi set. So I used this kind of a olive green, this more dark green, and that dark blue to achieve all these different tones. In here I started putting a little bit of this ochre color, which is the one in the middle, but I stopped because I want this layer to dry now, and then I'll work on top of these with some color pencils or some other non-watered material to get these effects of the branches of the trees and these lighter greens and yellows and a little bit of lighter tones in the background. But for now, I'm super happy with how it's looking. And as for the behavior of the base layer with the Amsterdam acrylics, I didn't find it very slippery for the watercolors to grab onto. Well, it's always a little bit because the acrylics kind of coats the paper and doesn't let the watercolor to get into the paper, so it's always a little bit slippery, but it grabbed onto the ground really easily, no problems at all. Oh, and just one more thing about this particular work and the effects the watercolor gets by drying these slow, which are these lovely effects that you get going on in these little puddles of paint. Oh, it's just awesome. I know that these will not dry this bright because these are the graphite set from Gansai Tambi, and it dries a lot duller, you know, like these colors here. But I'm hoping that I can still see this kind of swirling that the paint is doing right there after it dries. I don't know, but in here you can see all sorts of funny textures going on. In here, a lot of it's still not dried yet. The one thing that I don't like about these Japanese watercolors is that they got a shine to it after dried. As you can see in this piece that is already dried, and you can see this shimmer here where the puddles of paint stayed longer to dry. So where the paint stayed thicker, you can see a shimmer to it. Well, it adds on to the texture, but I don't quite like it. But it's okay. It's it's the quality of the paint. It's not a defect. It's just me that doesn't like it very much. But I still love all that texture, you know, with the dark color and the pink peeking through. I still love it. It's not finished yet though. back on my messy desk to make just a little detour to show you what happened to one of the base layers because of the Kuretake Gansai paints. Remember this pink one? Well, the pink, it's okay. It didn't give me any trouble. The trouble is because of the Kuretake paints. What happened here, I left it kind of thick in some points, and that, even after it dried, made it stick to the other page at the point that I cannot unstick it unless I ruin all this and I rip it really bad. And I don't want to do that. I tried on this other side and the result is exactly the same. What happened here is that I primed this other page and that made the paper went a little bit wet. Not very much, but a little bit. That re-wet the Japanese watercolors again, and they got stuck to this page. And now I cannot unstuck it, which is making me mad. I just lost 2 pages, to work in, and I was liking how this one was going, and now I cannot work on it anymore. I'm gonna glue this back together, and I'm gonna pretend that never happened and that page is not here. That's it for the Kuretake paints. I don't know if I'm liking them. When I bought this set, I was thinking about buying the Artico set, which has all those lovely colors, but I couldn't find it. Back then it was out of stock everywhere, so I didn't buy those. I bought these graphite colors that I loved also, but now I don't know anymore if I want to buy that other set, because this particularity of these paints are annoying me deeply. Please, if you have used Gansai Kuretake watercolors before, which probably you have because they're not new and they're very popular, please tell me your input on it. What you think about them? How could I use them without bugging me? Please let me know. Help me out here. So now I want to tell you something else. I've been testing another material in here. I was watching Claire Bremner the other day. She's a great artist. I really admire her work. And she has a YouTube channel where she shares a lot of her process with us. She's very generous. And in one of her latest videos, I think, she was playing around with some watercolor pens, brush pens, that are similar to ones that I have around here somewhere, which are these ones that I don't even know what brand they are. They were quite cheap. I bought them at the supermarket. And I think they had some kind of paper on the outside, but on the inside they was just black, and even one of the points, the brush points, was missing. I think it has the other thing inside, but it doesn't have the brush. I bought them for one of my daughters that she really wanted, and she was really into watercolor pens at the time. She had some other sets from Crelando, and those are good, by the way. So she wanted me to buy her this one. I bought it, but somehow she suddenly fell out of love with them. So they've been put aside for a few years now. But by watching that video from Claire Bremner, I decided to go get them and see how they performed on these base layers. This one is the white primer, and as you can see, and I have a little bit of footage on these, they go quite well. I didn't finish the drawing, of course, because this is just a test. I'll probably be showing you in other videos all these drawings that I've been starting on these backgrounds after finished, because right now I'm just rushing to test all these backgrounds, all these different materials that I put on the backgrounds to see how they work, and I don't have time to finish the paintings per se. So in here, I'm gonna test how these perform with water. I'm gonna get some of the blues out, maybe these 4 colors. And I also have here some really cheap felt pens. They were my daughter's as well. They were in the bottom of a drawer and I just found them. So maybe I'll test them out here too. Because, well, they're not watercolor, but they're water-based. And I believe that if I wet it fast enough, they can smear a little bit and give color to this background. These ones are from Giotto and these other ones are from Bic, but I don't think I'll be using these ones because it's not the colors that I want. I want to make a sea here, so I'm just going to put some colors that might resemble water or something like that. Oh, this one doesn't even has ink on it and it smears a little bit. Yes. How about this one? Oh, this is more juicy. And yes, I can smear it a little bit and it goes well on this base. As you can see, it stays there. It's not slippery. This doesn't have a lot of ink also. Oh, but this smears a lot more than the other two. And it's a beautiful color. Let's see now these ones, which are the watercolor ones. They behave basically the same. They smear just a little bit. Let me see this one. Yeah, the same. A little bit more pigmented because it's a darker color, I suppose. But the behavior is the same as that light blue over there. Let me see this blue. The same. You can still see a little bit of the staining underneath. But I guess it's okay. Yeah, and the same also with the green. So I'm gonna have to paint the background all with color without watering it. Another material that I could use in these base grounds, and I haven't yet because I just bought it and I haven't shown it yet because I don't want to make another art haul. I've been buying a lot of stuff lately, but I've just released a huge art haul for you guys and I don't want to make all the same videos, you know, over and over again. So I bought these Derwent Inktense blocks, the 24 set, and they should perform amazingly also in here. Let me see this one. Oh yeah. And I could get it to have some texture, which you know that I love. I should be using a bigger brush in this, with this material, in this background, but it's just for the test's sake. I'm not even going to finish this because I don't have time. I'm sorry. Okay, this blue went beautifully. I've got this darker blue. The Derwent never disappoints. Look how pigmented these babies are. They're just amazing. And this background is also textured, so it all adds to the final texture that I get in these pieces. It's amazing. I love this. I think this is even a darker blue. Yeah, maybe a Payne's gray or something. Does it have the name? No, just the number. But I bet the names are maybe on the lead. No, just the swatches. They're probably on the other side. I don't know. I'll look at it later. Yeah, this is probably a Payne's gray. It's nice. Very dark and nice. Looks like a deep sea in here. Okay, and what is this one? Let me see. Yeah, it's more like a turquoise one. Because now it's going for the greens. But it's still pretty much a blue, I think. I'm mixing it with the other blues. But I think it is pretty much a blue. Yeah, beautiful. So this is the test of the watercolor brush pens and the Inktense blocks on this white primer. See how rich already this background is looking. I love this. I love all this texture. And I got that because, well, not only because of the background with the primer, but also because of the graphite tints that are great for making texture. But what is most amazing about this is that with the pens, you know, the watercolor pens, I got really flat colors. I could spread the watercolor paint on the pens really easily, and it got all these flat blocks of color. It's amazing how different materials can perform in the same background. That's why I love experimenting and making all these homemade sketchbooks, because you have surprises like this, and that really fuels my creativity. And I don't seem to find the color names in this tin, so I'll probably make another video just watching these guys, testing them out, because I'm having a few ideas on how to use these babies, and then I'll research which colors they are. And I must tell you also that I got inspiration for these boats from this book, which is a children's book and has these amazing boats here, and that's what inspired me to copy a few of them on this drawing. And now for this yellow background, which was made with that wall paint that I showed you, I'm going to work with my Watercolor tools and my woody type Crelando 3-in-1 pencils. I've got, I don't know if I showed them all to you, but I've got 3 sets of these, which are, well, one, the first I bought quite a long time ago, was the primary set, and I really loved it. Then recently I bought the pastel set, which I didn't like so much. These lighter colors, they have lovely colors, but they don't perform as well. They're not as battery as the basic colors. And then I bought also these that have 2 colors in one pencil, which I found funny. But then when I tried it, I realized they were about the same quality as the pastel ones and not the basic set ones, so I'm not very happy with them. I'm a bit disappointed, but nevertheless they're water soluble, they have beautiful colors, and for these grounds, you know, to work later on top of, they are enough. So I'm just going for some basic landscape here. Oh, you're gonna see the difference. This one is from the basic set, and these 2 are from the pastel one. Well, maybe you cannot feel the difference, but I do. This one is much creamier, and even when I water it, this one waters down with no problems at all and leaves no residue. This just solves right away with no problems, like a high quality product, different to these ones that don't. Well, now this is just disappearing as I water it, but some bits are a little bit harder to dissolve than others. So that's what's happening here Nevertheless, it's making a beautiful color. And this one is not making anything, you know, on top of the wet paper. Let's try the basic set one, which I think is this one. Yeah, it's a little bit better, you know, you can see it working on the wet paper, but it's not quite the color that I was looking for. But it's okay, I will work on top of it later, and these will all add, you know, some more layers to the work. Let me just clean my brush over here. Then I don't know which colors that I'm going to use. Maybe some yellow. This is from the basic set, which is very, very bright and strong and juicy. Maybe if I mix it with this orange, because I believe I don't have orange from the basic set, so maybe I'll put a little bit of this orange, of these two-toned pencils. Let me see what color do I get in here. I'm just looking to get some different tones here, because this will be kind of a mountain, and I want to see lots of different colors in here. Maybe some warms with this red. This red is really strong, so I'm not going to paint it all in red. I'm gonna mix it, maybe even tone it down a little bit with some pale yellow. Let's see. I don't think this is yellow. Yes, it is pale yellow, but it's transforming the red. It's mixing with the red and making kind of a pinkish color, which is okay. Fun little surprise. Happy little accident, like Bob Ross would say. Let's see how it gets with water. My brush is still dirty with that yellow color. It's okay, no problem. It got some stripes from these colors that I added, which is fun. Kind of unpredictable working with these materials, with these pencils on top of this background, but fun nonetheless. I'm getting some beautiful shades. I'll try this light blue here. It's really pale. It's giving me snow vibes, which I was not looking for, really. You know, I was using all these warm tones, and then I go with one that resembles snow. But maybe it will work in the end, I don't know. This is just one more layer. I still don't know what I'm going for here. I just know that I want to make a landscape, and the rest will come as I go. This drawing will tell me what it wants to become. Some of the pigment of this blue didn't want to solve, so I don't care. I'm not going to overwork it because I'm welcoming that texture. This is a brighter pink. Let's see how it goes. I even can see a little bit of that shock pink of the Amsterdam acrylic that I put on some of the backgrounds. I must have stained this page by accident. It shows here a little bit, and I really love when that happens, you know. Give me some more texture, you know, to pick up here and there. And now let's see the difference from all these pigments from the Caran d'Ache ones, you know, the Neocolor 2 ones. This is orange. So far seems a little bit discreet. Let's see how it waters down. Amazingly, my background is no longer yellow. It's all orange now, and it dissolved right away. Great stuff, as you can see. Now I'm gonna put some more in here. I'm not even laying too much pigment because I'm just willing to tint or glaze my background a little bit to give it some different tone. but this is really strong. The Caran d'Ache has really strong pigments. Okay, now maybe this gold. This gold is more towards the green. So I'm going to put it here somewhere, maybe in this big part. I could just let it stay like this, you know, with all these scribbly marks. That would give me a lot of different textures, rougher textures, but I'll leave that for later. Right now, I'm just working on one layer that's very preliminary in these works, so I'm not building up all the texture just yet. Just slowly giving it some color, some nuances, you know. Another very rich pigment that I'm laying over my yellow background. I want it to be fairly transparent so I can see the green in the background, some of the words printed on the paper as well. It's all adding interest to the work. Okay, now I have this lovely pink here, which is the salmon pink. Maybe it will go well with this part. Oh, I cannot. I'm not showing you. Maybe it will go well with this part and this part, which are also pink. And now I think I better just speed up this process so this video doesn't get giant like the previous one. Okay, the yellow base is going to stay like this. I'm loving it. It has a lot of texture, funny effects from the water, and the way the 3-in-1 Crelando chunky pencils behaved with water. And I'm loving it. I'm loving the color choices. It's just a second base layer, so it's just the beginning of this painting. But so far, as long as how the yellow background behaved, it's perfect. It coats the paper so that the watercolor pigment doesn't sink into it really quickly, but it grabs onto it very well. No complaints about that. And I can have all these amazing textures. So what more could I ask? I'm really pleased with this. I just made this sketch that you saw me doing. I sped it up a little bit. I'm impressed by this because this is a simple charcoal pencil, one from my daughter. I don't know the brand of it. It has those little dolls, the LOL dolls, painted on the pencil. It's really a children's pencil, but it just grabbed to this base layer so well that it left these bold marks, you know, really dark marks. It was like I was drawing with a 14B graphite pencil. It's really impressive. That's all due to this paint, this matte red paint that I have on the background. Very, very slightly textured, but it's enough to get the graphite to stick to it really well. And now on top of it, I'm going with my watercolors. At first I thought I wouldn't use watercolors per se for these experiments, but I want some of these colors in here. I'm going to use them pretty thick, I think, because I want to cover the red underneath. It's quite a dark red. And I also want to use the art graphs. As you can see, for the watercolor, this base is a little bit slippery. I'll probably have to apply more than one coat on it. Let's see how it is with the art graphs. Yeah, the art graphs are much more pigmented and strong, so go on it much better. Look at this. Yeah, the art graphs don't have any difficulty in sticking to this paint. That's it. I'm gonna mix more of the art graphs so they can stick better in here. Oh, and I want to apologize also for not being able to post this video sooner because, as you know, I'm in the moving process and well, it's not easy to do so. Me and my husband basically are doing everything ourselves. We wanted to paint the new house, some arrangements to do there, some installations, building some furniture, and between the timetables of the girls, we don't have much time either. So it's taking a bit long to do this moving. And that's how we expected it to be. It's not a surprise per se. It's not ideal, but that's how we can make it right now, and we're gonna make it. So sorry if I don't have more time to make videos, to do the editing, which is also always a very long process for me. But hey, I hope you can bear with me. I'm making an effort to be posting short videos once in a while, so I hope you stay tuned for those. I hope you enjoy them. So this is how it's looking. As you saw, I started thinking I was going to use my watercolors, but then I couldn't because they didn't grab as well as the art graphs. So I changed my plans. I didn't give it as much color as I thought. I had to put a few layers on these whites to get them to look as they are. This is that bluish gray background, and once more I add that issue with the Kuretake Gansaitambi watercolors. Trying to unglue these bits, it peeled off. It's stuck together. I'll just have that in mind for the future works, that if I leave these watercolors very thick, they leave this kind of glossy coat on top of it and it sticks to the other page. And this is me watering the back page on this part that got glued together on that shock pink base layer. I used also the Kuretake watercolors, so now I'm watering the back side of the page to see if I can reactivate a little bit of the paints so I can unstuck it. It's pretty stuck still. Well, I'm gonna keep on doing this and then I'll tell you what happened. Maybe I'll ruin both pages, I don't know. But I'll have to get this, really moisture. Okay, I'm just going to stop what I'm doing because I don't know if you can see, but it is ripping. Look, I got these already damaged, completely damaged. Can you see the hole in it? So I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna leave this page just glued to the other one. So this is the red background. This is the yellow background. Then I got these two very similar base grounds that I painted with the Graphite, I believe. This one is over that pinkish white paint, and this one is on the primer, the white primer. They look very good. I love these textures and I'll sure be working on top of them as soon as I can. Oh, and stay tuned because all of that I'll show you in future videos. I'm very excited to be working and finishing all these pieces, but as my time is very limited for the moment, I might take a few days, weeks, months, I don't know, to finish them all, but as I will be working on them, I will be showing it to you more. In this sketchbook, let me see what I have more. Oh, these are watercolor pens, and these are the Inktense blocks on top of the white primer. Lovely effect. These base layers for illustration work, let me tell you, it's really something else. I mean, I love it, love it, love it. I don't know if I showed you that I painted some of the base grounds with Inktense pencils and then watered them right on top of the pages of the magazine. And they leave this semi-transparent look, which is lovely and might give me some good ground to work on top of either. I've done it some more, I believe. Oh, yes, these are also the Inktense pencils watered down on top of the white primer. Lots of texture, and here I watered it with an ink that I made myself, a green ink. I love them both. Here also with the Inktense pencils on top of the magazine, watered down just to blur a little bit of the image that was already in the magazine, and I think it looks perfect for a base layer for some other work. Oh, and of course, this first try that I made on this pinkish white background, quite spooky for Halloween. I love it. And this for now, I don't know if it's because it was the last one I made. It's my favorite. It's looking very dramatic. I don't know if it's finished or not because I already love it as it is. I might have to work a little bit more on this branch, but I don't know what else to do on it because I'm already loving it. And with this, I consider this video finished. Sorry for being such a long video again. I hope you bear with me and you stayed till the end. And if you did, please leave me a comment saying, I know what your favorite one is. Well, maybe that's such a long sentence. Just write dramatic because it refers to this piece here, and I'll know that you stayed with me till the end and that you're a loyal viewer here in the channel. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. And until my next one, bye-bye.